Coming to you from Erie, Pennsylvania, it's the Xhibit One Podcast with Mike Golab.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining this podcast here. This is going to be episode 4. I'm your host, Mike Golab, and today we got our special guest. This man here has multiple talents. He's an artist, photographer, businessman, Cleveland native.
Yes, sir.
His name is BrianTBonner.
Yo.
What's going on, man?
What is going on? I want to appreciate you for inviting me to your podcast, and this is very special. I know we go back. We go way back.
Yep.
And it's a blessing to see you grow with your artistry. It's a dope feel that you're doing what you love. You know what I mean? And not a lot of people could do that. And people are stuck in their mindset of, just working just to make do. No, forget that, man. I have dreams and goals, and I commend you because not everybody actually goes out and achieves those dreams and goals. So, so one brother to another, man, I
Appreciate it, man.
I am very, very humble that you invited me out on your show. So
Definitely, man.
Freaking dope.
I appreciate the opportunity to have you here, man. Definitely.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, man. Just if you can just tell everybody a little bit about yourself, kind of get a little introductory here.
Oh yeah. Definitely. My name is BrianTBonner. I am an artist, a painter, photographer, anything that's in the arts, man. I've been in arts for about 10 years, and I do all types of artwork with painting, surrealism, abstract, neo-expressionism, all types of stuff. So, yeah, man. Born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. Actually moved out here about a couple years ago. Just kind of wanted a different scene. You know what I mean? So, and just making things work. Yeah.
There you go. And you mentioned something about abstract art.
Absolutely.
How do you explain? What exactly is that? If you can explain what that is.
Well, abstract art is basically, if you guys could look up Jackson Pollock, if you guys could look up Basquiat, that's kind of abstract. It's kind of wild. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of, I actually brung some abstract art. But it's a little all over the place, and it's very dope. Nice. It's kind of like how you feel without painting somebody. You paint like a feeling.
Yeah, if you want to show some of that.
Oh yeah, definitely. So this one right here, this one I made, is kind of creepy, but the reason why I made this is called Blood on Ice. And the reason why it's called, can you see that?
Yeah, you're good, yeah.
Okay. The reason why it's called Blood on Ice because I was in the bed sleep, and around 3:15 in the morning, I heard 10 gunshots.
Oh.
So I don't know, it was some type of shooting or something. So I was like, oh man, it kind of freaked me out.
Yeah.
Right? So I couldn't go back to sleep after that. So I actually made this abstract painting, Blood on the Ice.
Oh.
And I actually noted on the back when everything happened, May 5th, 2020, 3:15 in the morning, heard gunshots. So,
wow.
Yeah. So, and this is what, this is what I felt It's kind of creepy. It's kind of dark.
Yeah, that's what art's about. It's about expressing yourself. Definitely.
It's kind of dark and it's kind of creepy, but at the same time, it's what happened, you know? So.
Right on. Wow.
Absolutely.
Nice. And then this one here, this is.
Yeah, that one's just chill, which this one is abstract as well, but this is what we call pour art. So you get a bunch of colors and you mix it together and you pour and you try to make a dope design.
Oh, I see it. Right, with all the different.
Yeah,
nice.
You see that? So this one right here is very special because this one's in a couple magazines.
Huh.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Couple magazines in Cleveland. So, yeah, man. This one's very special. This one was on a front page, Facebook page of the Erie Art Museum. This was on there, and yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
That's very unique, man. Good job. I like it.
Man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, like I've always said, man, art's just about expressing your emotions and, you know, capturing that by putting it on painting. In this case, I mean, I can't draw, man. I can't draw. I can't paint.
Never say you can't.
You're right. I mean, I have not at this point.
Right.
I would draw like just stick figures or something where, you know, like I'm gonna show the people how I draw. They're gonna laugh at me, but that's okay.
Right.
Like I draw. Let's see. Let me see if I can draw a person. Let me.
See, now you could do stuff with that. You already got the bases done. Most people can't even do that.
What?
Which is dope.
Yeah, I'm terrible at the shoes, and then the hands is like the worst. And so, I don't know. Okay, sure. But in like the face is kind of like. I mean,
there you go. Like you could do something with that.
That's mine.
You actually cut them in half too. That's kind of funny.
Oh. What?
You actually cut them in half. Yo, see, there's a piece right there.
This is ridiculous.
Half man, half amazing. That's what it's called.
Just got this. Yeah, I didn't realize I did that.
Right?
Yeah. Well, anyways, you get the point. That's my best drawing right there. Not very good, but it's. Hey man, it's whatever, you know.
Yeah, it's dope. Half man, half amazing. Right? There we go. That's awesome, man.
What inspired you to get into art?
I've been in art for about 10 years now. I've always been like one of those art kids when I was younger. I just didn't really, you know, tap into it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always been into art. And what made me get into it, like take it serious, life. I had some life events happen to me.
Yeah.
And you realize you're not guaranteed tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So
yeah.
I want to leave some stuff behind. Also, here's another thing. The reason why I'm into art, how I got into art, and my theory is like, yo, this world is crazy. This is a crazy world, right? I mean, it's ridiculous, man. I never see nothing. Anyway, so
yeah.
It's a crazy world, right? And my theory is this: with art, man, you could bring people together, all types of backgrounds, all type of races.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know, people have different thoughts and stuff. And you could actually bring everybody together and just have a conversation about artwork. You could actually meet somebody who's totally different, opposite of you. You guys come together at like an art gallery or something. You guys talk about stuff, and you guys could end up being best friends.
Yeah.
You could actually change that person's life just by a conversation about artwork. Everything is art. Everything in the world revolves around art, if you really think about it. Between the music, between movies.
Yeah, because art takes in different forms.
All types of forms. This is artwork right here, what we're creating.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that is like my whole theory. And that's literally why I really want to pursue this. That right there.
I love it, man.
Yeah, man.
You gotta have. I think it's good to have like a purpose. Live with a
Yes.
purpose. And me being a Christian, I believe in that God gives everybody different gifts, man.
Oh, talk about that. I just want to let the world know, okay? I want to let the world know, like, look, what we're about to talk about, all the successes that I've been having and stuff like that, yo, none of this is possible without God.
Amen.
None of it.
Amen.
None of it is not possible without him. Man, I've been through situations, like crazy situations I would have never got out of myself. I had to call on God.
Mm-hmm.
And once you call on God, man, like he'll open up doors for you. He'll open up opportunities for you. Like he'll put everything together for you. So none of this is possible without God. All glory goes to God. Every single ounce of it, man. Me sitting here today, God put this together, man.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's crazy. And I'm not trying to be real biblical, but I have to tell the truth. This is what I believe, and this is what I know for sure. He put all this together, bro.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And look, you just got to let God be God. You call on him and let him do his work and believe that he's going to do it. Then sit back and be patient and watch everything unfold.
All you got to do is plant a seed, man.
That's it.
Just plant a seed.
That's it, man. So, God is everything. God is the reason why I'm here. God is the reason why, I'm able to get some success off of my artwork. God is the reason I found my purpose again. You know what I mean? Like, God, the reason I'm alive. It's all glory goes to him. So I just want to let people know that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. No, that's good. And it's something that everybody should know about. And I know everybody's got different spiritual beliefs.
Of course.
But that's,
of course.
I definitely, and I never try to like force my beliefs on anybody. But I do try to encourage. And when the opportunity's there,
Right.
it's hard. I mean, I've been a Christian for a few years, so it's still something that I'm still trying to learn how to, bring forward to people. Because if before, when I would tell people, when I became a Christian, I didn't tell everybody because I didn't know who was going to like judge me off the bat.
Right.
Because I mean, just because of the people that I was, unfortunately, I don't say, it's just people I hung out with. And even though they were nice people, good people, they had different beliefs than me.
Of course.
And when I guess I was just afraid if I told someone's a Christian, they're like, oh, he's a Bible thumper and he does, we can't hang around him because he can't do certain things anymore. And
right.
And it wasn't like once I made that move, everything just instantly changed. God will change you gradually.
Right.
So that's what I was learning. Certain things that I wasn't convicted of before.
Right.
Eventually, it was just this feeling of, maybe I shouldn't do this or say this. I should do this instead.
Yeah.
So it's slow changes that happen.
Of course.
And so, but he definitely, God played a big role in what I'm doing because
he put his hand. He had his hand in you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he's the reason why you're doing what you're doing. He's the reason you stepped out on faith and said, I'm going to pursue my dreams. And he was like, I got you. Mm-hmm. Let's do this together. Right?
Yeah, definitely. Because filmmaking was not ever what I thought I was going to do. When I was a kid, actually, I've always wanted to be a professional athlete.
Right.
Like football was my favorite sport. Wrestling, like real wrestling, not the some of the turnbuckle wrestling. Drop an elbow. It's one of my favorite moves in wrestling. Just occasional elbow drop on somebody.
Or the backflip off the top rope.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know those guys. I mean, that to me, between like when you watch wrestling, there's like occasional fake jabs and they stomp on the floor and head trips back and stuff. But
it's all planned.
But when they jump, I'm telling you, when they jump off those turnbuckles, man, and they land on tables, that's real. The tables may have been pre-broken beforehand, but you still take a bump.
Yeah, you still feel an impact. let one of us jump off a table. Jump off the top rope into a table. We're going to feel it. We're going to be bruised. Like this table right here, bro.
I don't need to land on this kind of table though,
bro. Like this table will wreck you, man.
Yeah, this one's a little too.
What?
I mean, you're talking about multiple fusions in your spine afterwards. Like I don't know. I'd be afraid if I fell through. I don't know if I wouldn't be the same after that. Who knows?
Right.
But yeah. So I love sports as a kid.
Right.
But I learned that years later. It took me years to figure out what my passion, my gift was, and it took me until in my 30s.
Right.
And so, but that's the thing though. Some people figure it out sooner, and then other people figure it out later on in life. But once you find out what that is, man, right. Because things seem more natural. Yeah. You still got growing to do and learning in the meantime, getting better at that. But
it's not forced. It's natural. And like you said, wanted to jump when we said like even people younger who find their purpose, or even people older who find their purpose, you still found the purpose.
Amen.
My inspiration comes from anything, to a conversation, to a movie, to childhood video games. You know what I mean? A lot of my paintings, my recent paintings, I kind of switched up my style just a little bit to kind of stretch myself as well. And I painted a lot of, old school, funny characters. And I kind of made them, not perfect purposely. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We'll get to that. But, yeah, inspiration, if you think about it, man, like, God, man, he's everything. If you think about how the bird is and how it's designed, you know what I mean? How it can fly and how it's designed to fly, and how, like, a fish is, how it's designed to only be in the water, and how it glides and stuff like that. Yeah. To actually human beings, how he designed our brains with these protons and electrons and stuff goes to our brains, so we're able to touch and feel.
Speaking of flies, I've always wondered, what's the purpose of a fly?
To clean up after our crap. Literally.
Did they kind of, don't they spread some kind of like bacteria along the way? Like, I guess they said that every time a fly lands on something, it like pukes or whatever, or
that
it defecates or some form.
That I don't know.
Because I'm telling you, man, unless that was like God's way of just just annoying you, like with a fly. Like, see, I never try to kill insects because I always feel like it's a life form.
Yeah, it is.
But I'm notorious. So, like, if I find a spider in a house, I try to I'm weird about it. Like, people make fun of me all the time. Like I was at a friend's house the other day, and there's a spider. They have kids, and the daughter's like, "Oh, it's a spider!" She's freaking out, and I grab a jar. She's like, "You gonna kill him?" I'm like, "No, I'm just gonna capture it with a jar," and I took it outside and let it live.
Don't be weird, because I do the exact same.
They're like, "Why do you do that for?" I said, "Because I feel like for two reasons. First of all, it's life. I value life,
right?
And
right.
But also because I feel like if I kill that spider, it's gonna come back in twofolds or tenfolds.
Yeah.
I got a few spiders that are coming after me, and so it's like almost, I don't want to say karma related, but it's just I just don't do it. So
yeah.
Have killed a number of them, obviously, but I try now I'll try to at least get them out. I'll even tell them, like, you just please leave my house. Or just get in the jar. I'll take you outside. I won't kill you. Unless you try something funny, then it's... But yeah. I don't...
Don't feel weird, because I do the same exact thing. Like, I try not to. If it's spider in the house, all right, I'm just going to grab a napkin and just kind of toss it outside. So,
yeah.
I mean, everything has its purpose. And I know we're getting really deep. We are getting so deep in the conversation. Everything has its purpose. Everything. Some things I don't even know, like a fly, but I know the bird. You know what I mean? But like a fly, like I don't know. But everything has its reason. Everything has its purpose.
That's why I don't kill spiders. Don't kill them. I mean, well, my grandma would when we were kids, I would see a spider and I would ask her to kill it, and she's like, "No, I don't kill spiders." So why? Because they kill all the other insects in the house.
Yeah, it needs to eat.
That's true.
You know what I mean? It needs
So
to eat.
what I do now, if a spider's in the very corner, like up in the ceiling somewhere away from my reach, I'll let it hang out there. I'll tell them like this: "Hey, you stay away from me.
Stay over there.
I'll stay away from you. I'll let you live if you stay there."
We'll do the 6 feet apart.
Now you start coming towards my bedroom, hanging over like just like I don't know if I was like watching TV, it's just like they just like dangling out of nowhere.
That's creepy. All
Yeah,
right, you kind of crossing the boundaries now.
Yeah, I mean you could be just sitting there just. Oh, you freak out. Or if you're driving,
oh, that's the worst. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I don't know why I hate more spiders or bees or any of the stings that matter. I'm more it depends on how big that spider is.
Yeah.
Usually I'm more afraid of the stinging stuff because they can fly around.
Yeah.
So, but I've happened like a big spider, almost not as big as a brown recluse, but it was pretty big.
Yeah.
Because my car was parked out in the boonies somewhere, and I was visiting somebody for I don't know what was it for, but I was driving on like freeway. I see the spider, and I'm just, oh, and then so and like luckily I would caught control of the car because I was like my hand just jerked out of reaction.
Right.
Plus, you're a little tired. It's been a long day, so you're just driving. You're like, I have just enough focus to stay on the road, and then the spider just throws a whole nother curveball. And you're like, oh.
It woke you up.
It did. It almost got me in an accident. Can you imagine telling an insurance company that? Like, well, how did you get in an accident? Oh, I was just driving and a spider just popped out. Like, I don't think we have spider coverage for auto accidents.
Oh man.
If a car hits you, we got that cover. If a deer ran into your car, maybe.
Right.
Spider. If a daddy long leg comes down from your sunroof, that's on you, man.
Just let it ride. Just open up a window and just hopefully it'll suck them out there. But yeah, that happened to me a couple times. I stay calm. I open up a window, and once I get like a clear lane, I kind of shoo.
I think I'm better off just stopping the car right there. I mean, I don't care. I'm talking like you're at 65, just slam your brakes, man. Just get that out of the car.
Oh,
and then go back to what you're doing, like it never happened.
Yep. It's awesome.
Yeah. So,
man.
But what were you saying before all that? You said something about the flies and like God created things, and I got distracted. You said flies, and I always tell people, like I always wonder what the purpose of a fly is.
I don't know what the purpose of a fly is. What I guess what I was trying to say, like, how bird flies, how it's designed. Yeah. How is even a fly? How it's designed? It's incredible. If you really,
I heard the word fly, and I just picked it. I imagined an insect or something.
No. It's really incredible if you really just take a second and just kind of zoom out and actually look at things how they are, like the trees and stuff. Mm-hmm. I know I'm getting kind of weird and deep, but I'm giving you guys a tiny glimpse of inside of my mind. Goes on.
This will definitely, especially when it relates to art and inspiration wise. Yes. And I'm the one that threw it off course with the whole spider stuff. So blame me.
No, it's good, but that's kind of how I get inspiration. Do anything, man. Just conversation. It's just take a look outside. Take a look at the snow. Mm-hmm. There's no two snowflakes alike.
No.
Why is that?
I try looking for them. Yeah.
So that's a little glimpse inside the Brian's
here's
mind.
the crazy part of the whole snowflake theory. Like, someone had to be out there looking for these. Like, you see all these snows and you're like catching them and then they melt. You're like, oh, I didn't get a chance to see what it looked like. So how do you know? Like, and you're outside. There's trillions and trillions upon trillions of snowflakes, like in a pile.
Right.
And we get enough snowflakes in here. We get about 10 feet of it at one time. Or
on a regular. I never see nothing. Look, I'm from Cleveland and we get snow, but this out here, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
But like out here, like on a regular, like of 10, like, bro, I don't even know what to say. It's so much freaking snow here. It's ridiculous.
Well, right now we're in the a demanding lead as far as snowfall this year out of
That's crazy.
everybody else in this country. Usually Buffalo or somewhere in Alaska or Wisconsin or whatever. Those few states or so are the ones that usually get it more than us.
Yeah.
But I know so many people that come up from like Baltimore, Atlanta, or even Pittsburgh.
Right.
And they're like, they get snow. You would think that they would get a good I mean, they might have some snowfall once or twice a year, maybe.
Right.
But when we get bad, Cleveland usually gets a lot at the same time.
Yeah.
Because our weather's pretty much linked with theirs at the same time. Pittsburgh's like, it's still like 50-some degrees. And then meanwhile, it's like 22, and it's a blizzard out there.
See, this is the reason why I'm looking to move down south. Florida, Houston.
Oh, that's all.
Florida, Houston, Atlanta. I'm in the market, so.
Yeah, I'm weird because I always said I would rather move up north.
Yeah.
I like the winter.
You do?
I don't know why. I mean, I like a healthy dose of summer.
Yeah.
But I like the winter. Like, this doesn't bother me at all.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
If they can plow the roads better here.
Yeah.
Not trying to call out the city, but
Yeah.
if they can plow the roads a little bit better, especially on my street, because I got all this ice chunked up on the road.
Right.
And when you get that, it's because when all the snow dumped at once, and the roads aren't completely even because it's just, it's the streets in Erie, like, it warps a little bit because of the climate.
Yeah.
No matter how many times they clear it up and repave it, it's still gonna happen.
Yeah.
Especially when they use that cheap stuff. So,
Yeah. Stop using the cheap stuff,
and it's
yo.
just I've asked somebody. They said it's for it's job security. I said, why do you guys keep using the cheap tar on the road?
It doesn't work.
Yeah, and they said, it's just job security. But we'll repave it in about 4 or 5 months from now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So, and it's crazy, man, because they, like I said, they really don't plow the roads. And you'll see, because like I said, at my street, everything's like chunks of ice because it's been melting the last couple of days.
Yeah.
If they were to plow that and maybe throw a little bit of salt on the road, it wouldn't be as bad. Right. Now, if you say you're driving on 24th Street, it's just
you're bouncing.
Boom.
You're bouncing.
Don't go more than 10 miles an hour, or just don't go down the street. You're better off staying on busy roads, on the main roads. But
it's crazy.
But it's funny that they don't plow the street, but they hit you with a parking ticket if you don't rotate. I got hit with a ticket the other day.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. I actually parked in the parking garage.
And
so.
because I think I left my house a couple 20 minutes later than normally, and I know this lady, she sees me. Usually I park across the street the night before, so I don't have to worry about it, or I get out sooner. But it was just that one time where I just didn't leave as early as usual. And a lot of times I come out of the house and I see her come down the street, and she looks at me and she's like, has that look like, you got lucky this time. You got lucky this time, but that time she got me, and she has no problem giving that ticket. And so I was like, you guys didn't even plow this side like the last few days. Nope. So I would have felt bad if we got plowed all the time, and I was the one that caused them to have to go around.
Right.
But you can tell because your car is like completely buried in the snow. Oh man.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man.
And there's people who listen to this have no clue what it's like to live up in the Northeast.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So if you're living in like Kansas somewhere, or like South Beach, Florida, or
you guys got it made. Don't complain about it's 65 degrees, it's cold. What?
You know what? Maybe they're the ones that counting the snowflakes and look at it.
Yeah, maybe they.
Because you get probably like 10 of them on your grass, and you go, "Oh, these don't look the same." When you're up here, you're like, "I don't have time to go through all the snow." I'm shoveling out of my driveway, man.
Oh my gosh!
Hey, you know what? They all look the same to me. So
let's get it out.
They look the same.
Let's get it out of here.
I'm not trying to discriminate on snowflakes,
right?
But when you get about 10 inches of it at once, it's got to go.
Right.
So.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
So what part of Cleveland? I think we talked a little bit before. What part of Cleveland, like, are you originally from? Like,
the Euclid area. Well, actually, I was born in the Cleveland Heights area. Lived there for a while. Then my family moved into the Euclid area, so that's like the suburb of Cleveland.
Yeah, I love Cleveland. I've been. Yeah. That's was my. It's still my goal of moving. It's just when you relocate from their state, is a lot of planning.
It is
a lot more. Just because like I'm there a lot. I'm in Ohio a lot, especially in Cleveland. I had to go through Cleveland for just a lot of stuff, a lot of business stuff, and you know, family stuff, and but I always make sure I stop in Cleveland. You know, I love it there.
I'm there like every other weekend. You know
I'm in the Lakewood a lot, so that's usually
the west side. Yeah,
west part of Cleveland.
Yeah. I'm actually, I'm actually looking at a place out there in the west side area, to be honest. So yeah, we'll get into that. But yeah, the west side is dope.
Yeah,
it's really artsy there.
I haven't spent a lot of time in the east part of Cleveland. I went through Euclid a couple of times, but I was I have to go through to get to the west side, obviously. But once you get past Mentor and all that stuff, Willoughby stuff,
all my stepping grounds.
What do you love doing in Cleveland? What's fun in Cleveland?
I
mean, there's a lot of stuff. Obviously,
it's a lot of stuff. I love art galleries.
Nice, yeah.
That
makes sense.
I love art galleries. I love to go to the art gallery and just get inspiration there, right?
Yeah.
I love going out to really nice restaurants and getting that experience and stuff. I love, man, it's a lot. It's funny because out here where I'm at is really not much to do. And when I was living in Cleveland, I used to complain like, I ain't nothing to do in Cleveland. And I moved out here.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, there's really not much to do here. So, and I'm not trying to downplay Erie. I'm just
we love you, Erie. We do.
Yeah, we do. It's just
Erie's always. I think it comes down to is if you're used to living out and say in the middle of nowhere or something.
Right.
Like this might be a lot here.
Yeah.
If you're used to living Erie, then it seems normal. But if you're used to living in like New York and LA, Chicago,
you're like, bro.
So and I lived here my whole life. So no matter where I go from this point, Erie's always gonna be a home to me.
Of course.
Like I'm 34. I've lived here 34.
Yeah.
I've lived here the whole time. I visited a lot of places.
Yes.
So that's how I was able to get an idea of what it's like outside Erie. So I got a taste of that, and some of that was places I've been where it's just more of a, it was a nice place to visit, but I wouldn't live there.
Right.
I wouldn't live in Cleveland downtown, but I definitely would be there all the time. So that was my goal. But just stepping out there, going to Chicago, St. Louis.
Chicago's dope.
Chicago's fun. Yeah.
Chicago's
I've
dope.
been there twice. It's been a long time I've been there, but I remember that was like one of the first big cities. I was just looking around like how big it was.
Yeah.
Indianapolis had been there. Not as big as Chicago, but it's still like compared to Erie.
Right. You've been in New York? New York City?
I've never been to New York City.
I stayed a week in New York City, and we had a hotel in the middle of Times Square.
Wow.
It was really dope. Very expensive. Shouts out to my brother for hooking that up, man.
Yeah, I bet it was. I bet it was expensive.
It was, and I thought, this is, what year was it? 2010. You know what I mean?
Dude, I remember people that in Erie, like, I remember just going out to like the bars and people would talk about like how expensive beer was. They're like, "This is $3.25. That's just ridiculous." But I remember I was in Houston, Dallas, and it's. Again, not as expensive as New York or Boston, maybe even.
Right.
But I know people that live in New York, and they're like, really, the same thing costs like $7.50 or something. It's twice the amount.
It is.
So
it's
I just
over expensive. 2020. Usually, we hear 2020 was an effed up year. Excuse my language. Messed up year.
Yeah.
And but it was kind of good for me financially, and especially off of my artwork. You know what I mean? And a lot of dope stuff. I got in. Whole Foods got in touch with me, and I had a display at their place, their store. They let me display my artwork. It was really dope. I actually sold 2 of my biggest paintings there. Which helped me buy a new car. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah. It's just, you you put yourself out there. You gotta put yourself out there. Don't be afraid. Put yourself out there, man. And just like what you're doing, sometimes you gotta take that leap of faith. You know, you surround yourself with like-minded people.
Yeah.
You talk about things, and you just, you actually do what you're supposed to do. You know, you can't be afraid. You cannot be afraid to jump out the window. How do you know if you have wings? If you, you know what I mean? You don't jump out the window.
Yeah,
and
we don't mean that literally.
We don't. Yeah. We don't mean that. We don't mean that literally. But we're just.
Gosh.
Yeah, we're just saying
that podcast told him to jump out the window. No. Figure of speech.
Yeah, absolutely.
I assume most people understand, but I never want to assume. So don't really jump out the window. But what he means is you do got to take a leap of faith to really know, what's in store for your life, what your gifts are and your abilities, because a lot of people just kind of they're complacent with just being mediocre, and
right.
Which is, hey, listen, if you enjoy what you do in life,
do it the best you can. Enjoy it. I'm sorry to cut you off, but
right.
If you enjoy what you're doing, man, be the best at it, and that's freaking dope. That's dope that you enjoy that. You know what I mean? For us, creators, we want to be able to provide content for the people. We want to help people change. And I'm not trying to say, like, if you're a nurse or something, because we need you. We need doctors and stuff. We need people that, clean. And we need these people.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Right. The point of when we talk about, like the rat race,
Absolutely.
And, when we mentioned, like, in the documentary, I kind of, like, upset some people when I mentioned about not wanting to work a 9-to-5 job because it's not what I think is meaningful for me. Other people look at it and say, well, I work at retail, or I work at fast food. Are you saying that I'm a failure because I work those jobs?
No.
No. What I tried to, in my Escape the Race documentary.
Right. Escape the race.
Escape the race, because that's what if once you're in the race, it's like one of those things where I don't know what's worse. If you are in the race and you don't know it.
Right.
Or you're in the race and you know it and you're stuck in it.
I think that part's worse.
I don't think anybody's really officially stuck, but you feel stuck.
Yeah.
And so once you take steps of getting out of it, then you start to kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel a little bit.
Right.
And so, but yeah,
absolutely.
But I think that was one of those, once I understood what a rat race was.
Right.
And I was like, wow, I'm in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just, and ever since then, that was like, how do I get out?
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
so it's scary moments. I left a very good paying job because I just didn't feel fulfilled. Like, I would wake up every morning, and I'm not exaggerating this. I would wake up every morning, sitting at the edge of my bed before work, and just contemplate on not going in.
Right. And I remember. Side note: we have we know each other. So I remember you telling me that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember you telling me that, like, dude, man, I don't want to do this no more.
No. Yep.
You know what I mean? I remember you telling me that.
It wasn't so much because I didn't want to work, or I wasn't a hard worker, or it wasn't because I was lazy. Some people they think that because if you didn't want to work for those jobs that you're lazy.
Right.
And for me, it came down to, through my walk of Christ, was learning what my gift was. And at the time being, I didn't know what it was. I just knew what I was doing at the time was not what I was supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
It served a purpose.
Yeah.
It served a purpose, and I'll always be grateful for the opportunity that I received.
Of course.
Because God taught me to be grateful of opportunities that I received.
Of course.
Even if it's just a seasonal thing, a temporary thing.
It's a season.
But I was being pulled to get out of there, to go to follow my gifting and use it for good.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it comes down to talking about rat race, the goal, the purpose of me having that documentary, having this documentary, because this is going to be on there, obviously.
Of course.
This part will at least be on here.
Of course.
Is if you are in a job that you you love doing, then by all means, if it works for you and your family, you feel like you make enough money doing it, then you stay there.
Yeah.
You found something that works for you.
Right.
This is more towards for people that are working jobs that they don't feel they enjoy anymore.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
it could be working at a desk job, a factory job, whatever it is.
Right. Right.
I mean, I know people that make very good money and they hate their jobs. I know people that make little money and they hate their jobs.
Right.
So it
I
doesn't really.
know people that make little money and they love their jobs.
That's true. and that's sometimes the people that make because the rat race, people in their race, they're trying to make as much money as they possibly can, go up a corporate ladder somewhere, and then buy a bunch of stuff because it impresses people that they really don't like.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
you buy a
yeah.
car for somebody that doesn't really like you. You just want to impress them and show I got a
Yeah.
cool car. Guess what my paycheck got me. Okay, now you're further in debt.
That's not the move.
No, but that's what the rat race does.
Right,
Because they're chasing that. They make a bigger paychecks, and now they want to buy more stuff because it
Right.
justifies their. And if you can afford it, I'm not saying you don't go buy stuff,
No, have fun.
but don't buy stuff if it puts you further in debt.
Right.
And that's the whole point of getting out of the race, is get out of debt
Yes.
and find something that, even if it's less paying job, like, man, I'm telling you, I make a quarter of what I used to make last year. And I won't get into all the exact numbers what those are, but you get the point.
I sure do.
And
we
so
had that conversation.
Yeah, I make a quarter of what I used to make, and people know me who knew I make are still kind of like looking at it like, oh, well, why would you do that? That was a stupid move.
Right.
But while I may have some stressful moments financially, I feel better about the decision. Like, I feel
Right.
better as a person. Like, I'm doing something that I enjoy doing. I love doing this.
Right.
You know, I like
Yes.
making films, writing films, working with people who have a different passion, career, maybe a different a line of work, but they're creative and they want to collaborate and do
Yes.
other stuff and do great
Absolutely.
things. So
Absolutely.
that's what it's about.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So,
sir.
That's all the rat race means.
Yeah.
If you're working somewhere you don't like, get out.
Yeah.
Go find something else you do, and that's find that purpose. So.
Absolutely. I want to jump on that real quick as
Mhm.
well. Like, if you're a creator, if you want to create and you're working a job, save your money. Save your money, right?
That's part. Yeah.
You save your money, right? You save enough money. I say 6 months. Save all your money for 6 months. Make sure your bills are low and save all your money for 6 months. So when that 6 months come, you have a nice pillow where you could go and you can pursue your dreams. You got to be smart, though. You can't just jump. You have to have a plan.
Right. So
Yeah.
what you're saying is you want to do is set up an emergency fund, but also count all your monthly bills.
Yes.
Have enough for the next 6 to 8 months paying those bills.
Yes.
And then have a little extra if you can.
If you can, yes.
And then go for it.
And just go for it. That's all you got to do.
What he's trying to say is get you out of the paycheck for paycheck mentality.
Absolutely.
So this sounds crazy. This is what I was towards the end before I left the job, because I made some changes first before it wasn't a sporadic thing where I just said I'm just going to stop coming in.
Right.
I thought about it for 3 years, man.
You planned it.
So it was just kind of like I was totally active faith, man, because I was scared because I was homeless before that.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
like, I mean, I'm making a film based on, well, not fully based on it, but it's inspired by my story. I went through being homeless.
Right.
And I won't get into all that today.
Right.
But I told myself that I wouldn't go through that again. And so by the grace of God, I was homeless. He got me out of that. So now he's trying to teach me how to make smarter decisions, especially financially, you know.
Yes. Use your money as a tool.
Right.
Use your money as a tool. Be really smart with your finances. And another thing I just kind of want to say is, like, don't chase the money.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
You know what I mean? Do not chase the money because you're chasing it forever. You'll never be, you know what I mean? You're always chasing it forever.
You'll always feel like you need more.
More. You know what I mean? But at the same time, have your money chase you.
You beat me right to it. I was going to say the same thing. Like, go out there. Like, I understand, like, money's important in the sense of paying your bills.
Of
and
course.
food.
Use it as a tool.
Yes.
Use it as a tool and have your money chase you. You learn like stocks. Learn your stocks. Put your money in there.
Money works for you.
Yeah, have your money work for you. You out here buying, and this is just, you know what I mean? You're out here buying super expensive clothes, but you don't have stock in it. You know what I mean?
What you're doing, you're investing in your liabilities more than assets.
Yeah, I'm like assets and liabilities. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not gonna go and buy a $1,500 pair of shoes, but I'm gonna invest in that company because everybody's doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go like spend, I don't know, $10,000 on a bag, like a purse for somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
$20.
Yeah,
I'm gonna invest in that company. I'm gonna put, and when I say invest in the company, I'm gonna buy stock in the company.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's hot right now, so you're just learning how to use your money as a tool. You know what I mean? And that's very important, especially when you become independent. You really have to learn about finances and how to work with finances. Being independent, you know what I mean? It'll really open up your eyes to that, because you can't go out. It's not like a job you get paid every week. You already know what's coming in.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to be careful. Okay, cool. I'm gonna okay, I got this check, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna put this aside for me, for my company. I'm gonna put this aside for taxes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you just gotta be really, really, really smart with your finances.
Amen.
You know what I mean? So
and
I just want to say that.
And that's half of the battle of getting out of the race. It's the first half is just, I think it's just wanting to get out. Be aware of what's happening.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to scare people in the situation, but there's a lot going on as far as how much, that lifestyle affects people, like mentally and physically. Like, the documentary is going to be covering a lot of that. Like, and so hopefully my goal is to get as much information I can in regard to different areas of the rat race, or what causes it. What's, like, if it's something to do with like psychology, psychology, I can say that sometimes. There's people who have, that might have something mentally going on, that maybe the person lacks confidence or something, that they don't believe in themselves.
Right.
There's something that happens, or certain behaviors that causes like bad habits or something.
Yeah.
Bad spending habits. Like some people have addiction to spending money.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a gambling thing. It could just be someone who likes to buy random stuff all the time.
Stuff that you don't need. You just want to burn a hole in your pocket.
I know so many people, because
I
think, and it's also, it's just, and I know this happened to me a lot when I was younger, when I wasn't used to having a lot of money at one time.
Right.
And so let's say I got, I don't know, like say I had extra money, tax income came, and I got like $2,200 or something. I don't know. That may not be a lot of people. Some people make more than that income. Some people don't make as much of that.
Right.
But for me, where I'm used to making my paychecks normally maybe like every couple $100 every paycheck every week or something. So when I wasn't used to having $2-3 at one time.
Right,
so when I got that, my brain said, "Go buy something cool." And then you're like, "Well, okay, I'll go buy a pair of shoes for
Right.
And I'm not gonna lie, I was always kind of cheap with shoes.
That's okay.
I may have spent like, I'm talking about $80 on a shoe or something.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah.
So I might be like Chris Rock on that movie where he's like, I want just one shoe. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He's like, I want one rib. What? He goes, how much ribs are on a rack? He goes, oh, like 6 ribs. Oh, I go one of those. One rack. No, just one rib.
And he pulls out a big wad of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I might have to like just buy like half a pair of shoes. Like, just give me one shoe.
Oh yeah.
When I cut the price in half, like it's $80, I want $40. I don't know how you. Yeah. So no, but
yeah.
But that's the thing. Like it was just I had a hard time just understand that, like, yeah, you have a lot of money now, but you could either save it or invest it in something that's going to create
more income.
Right.
You want your money. You really want your money to make more money. If that makes any sense. You want your money to make, you just got to be really smart in what you do and what you invest your money in, what you spend your money in.
Exactly.
I'd rather spend it in, if I had a chance, to buy something or invest something, I'm going to invest something because that money is going to double.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why would if I don't need it, okay, I could take this money that I was going to buy a pair of kicks. I could take, I don't know, this $100 and go and invest in some type of stock or something and just let it double. You just have to be really smart with your finances, especially when you're independent. You're trying to get out that rat race.
Yeah.
That is very key. I want people to pay attention. You really have to be really smart with your finances. And like this man right here said, he's been planning this for 3 years. He had 3 years. He had an exit strategy. He's been planning this for 3 years. He didn't just go ahead and jump out the window. He planned for it. So that let him, okay, I got to get this together. Okay, I need this much. I need to do this, and this is it. The time is now. I got everything that I planned for. Okay, now it's time to go to the big leagues. Now it's time to jump out the window. Now it's time, to invest in myself. The best investment is in yourself.
Yeah.
That's facts. The best investment is in yourself. You just got to make the right decisions. And if you don't know, it's okay to ask.
Right.
It's okay to ask for help, especially if somebody, you want to surround yourself with people that's actually doing better than you because they have knowledge.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And there's also there's resources now that, I shouldn't say now, they have resources out there for people who are they went to school for this kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Or this is what they do for a living to help give people financial advice.
Absolutely.
And so, I've talked to a few of myself, especially along this journey, even filming the documentary. If you watch it, you'll see it. There's people I talked that had looked at my income and debt, and it's out of whack.
Yeah.
Like they're just from as far as monthly spending, it's like, okay, so this is how much you made, this is how much you have, where did it all go?
Right.
And most people, you'll start out you pick out the big bills, okay, well, there's rent or mortgage, okay, car payment, cell phone, cable, and then you start getting the numbers don't add up. You're like, grocery bills, you're like, okay, you still have $800 expending. Where did it go?
Fast food and all that.
I maybe Amazon Prime or something. I love Amazon Prime. I'm not trying to sponsor them. I might have to cut that out now because I said that. But it could
online
be
shopping.
Online, online shopping.
Right.
But just stuff you buy, it could be a video game membership pass on whatever it is. And then that's when you get a problem when you don't know what you spend. That's what they said. Okay, right off the bat, you got a spending problem.
Right. Yep.
You probably eat out all the time.
Yep.
And so buying stuff that you probably don't have receipts for, you lost receipts, so you can't even keep track of what you spend.
Exactly.
So they put me on a strict budget of realistically what do you need per month.
Right.
So they were telling me they taught me how to pay myself first kind of thing. Make sure you put some money yourself.
Yes.
Because it sounds backwards. You're always told to pay your bills first, save, and then have spending money.
Right.
Pay your bill first, save, and spend money. They told me, we know that if you're used to spending, take a little bit out yourself right at the bat.
Right.
Because it's one of those, and you have to be responsible about it.
Of course.
If you know that you're gonna want to buy something because you're used to doing it, go buy something simple.
Right.
Something that hopefully it's something you need, but if it's something silly, if you want to buy a couple T-shirts or something,
that's fine. That's okay.
Go buy something reasonable.
That's okay.
Because what happens is it gets you out of that. I have to buy something for myself.
Right.
You get that little whatever, that little fix out of the way.
Absolutely.
And then you start handling your business.
Yeah.
So if you do the numbers, it makes sense, obviously.
Right.
And so that's what I was taught to do, and it helped me out a lot.
Right.
With managing the money.
Yeah, that's very important, especially as an artist. You know what I mean? That's very important. Just managing your finances,
especially if you take that leap of faith,
yes,
and you don't make the income you used to have. At least not at first. then it's very important to have a tighter budget because I had to like really cut down a lot of stuff.
Of course.
So I like reduced my bills in half, and then I knew I still had some areas and needs I have to take care of regardless. So then you start making the ground difference. But
so I just want to say this too, but enjoy the process because you're growing you.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have all this knowledge, you can actually pass it down. Once you get to where you want to be at, you can actually pass that knowledge down and actually help some people. They don't have to make the same mistakes you did. Yeah. It's all about teaching. And the thing is, it's not always about yourself. Pass the knowledge down.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Pass the knowledge down. You could actually mentor. You could mentor a bunch of people and say, hey, this is how I did it. I can help you because I'm doing it. This is what I remember. I know what it's like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you could pass that knowledge down, man. That's what I'm all about. Collaboration.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm all about that.
Right. And that's how you build perspective on things, and you start gaining new ideas and inspiration, man. Like, so
you make an impact. Chase the impact, not the dollars. Make an impact. You know what I mean?
If it's, think about it. Like, if you're really good at what you're doing and you make a difference in society,
the money's gonna come anyway.
People are gonna invest in that.
The money's gonna be there.
If you have an area of need, you're covering,
right,
and you have talent, we all have some form of gift, man.
Yes.
People will invest in that because it's an area of need.
Yeah.
And even if you say like some entertainment is not as much needed, it's more than you think it is. Like even a lot of these different like actors and singers and stuff, it's not so much just for singing. There's more to it. There's something they can use that as a platform for something greater.
Right.
So, yeah, there's opportunities. So, go out there what you love doing. Not that I wasn't like I'm not like famous, so I guess someone might look at me and say, "Well, you haven't got there yet, so why am I listening to you?"
But you're doing it.
You're right.
Exactly. But you're doing it.
Some kind of echoing. I'm basically speaking on. We're only speaking on based on our experiences.
Absolutely.
And also from what other people who may have already did it have said to us, or what we heard from them.
Absolutely.
So definitely. But yeah, we're about to close it up here. Is there any final words you want to say to the people that are listening or watching?
Yes, I just want to give a huge shout out to some people. I want to shout out my boy Odin Black. He's a awesome photographer, down in the Cleveland area. Hit him up on his Instagram, Odin Black. I want to shout out my boy Mr. Byrne, saying Mr. KV, Eric and Jenny. They know who they are. I want to shout you guys out for being patient and being patient with me. Also, a quick shout out. I actually have my boy Taylor Made. He's in a mindset, motivational speaker, stock investor, real estate investor. He's doing it all. He's doing big things. I want to shout him out personally, because he actually helped me get this thing set up in Columbus to sell my artwork as well. So I want a huge shout out to him. And he actually has a book, and I want to show you guys his book real quick.
Okay.
Can you guys see that? Can we see that?
Yeah, bring it a little closer.
Okay. So this is his book, Being Average is Boring. Being Average is Boring.
I like it.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. Or you could go to his website, tailormadeproductions.com, and order this book. This book basically tells you about mindset. Being average is boring. Do you know the real you? You are what you think you are. It's an awesome book, man. If you really want to change your mindset, if you really want to change the way you think about yourself, if you really want to, get into leadership, this is one of those books, man. For real.
Nice. Thanks for sharing it with us, man.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah, this is one of those books. And, you can also follow me on Instagram at BrianTBonner. BrianTBonner is all one word. Come check out some dope artwork. I actually brought some dope artwork here. If you probably get a couple photos when we
there you go.
head out. And, man, thank you. I want to thank you. Thank you for actually inviting me out to your podcast.
I appreciate it, man. Definitely. I'm happy you're here. We had a great conversation today.
Absolutely.
Definitely, this is still a new thing here, a new project, new podcast that I'm just giving it a shot at. So
Yeah.
I have no experience prior to this. So, but I try to keep it, fun, keep it real, and then not just to build my own platform, but to give other people an opportunity to build theirs.
Absolutely.
Give them a spotlight, and that's the whole point. So of doing this is just, getting people to collaborate on different, different skill set or different area of work you do. It's just, it all comes down to, especially when it comes to art.
Yes.
Art has different influences.
Yes, it does.
So definitely, we can talk for hours, man.
We sure can. We sure can. Hopefully you might have me back on a part 2, and we can really get into detail.
I don't see why not. Yeah, man, definitely.
No.
BrianTBonner, man, appreciate you being here.
Yes, sir.
Everybody else listening and watching, appreciate it. Definitely get the word out, like and share this to as many people as you can.
Yes, sir.
To all your friends and family and neighbors and whoever else you come in contact with, I guess.
It's a blessing. Thank you.
So thank you, guys. We'll be back here next week, episode 5. Until then,
Peace.
peace. Stay blessed, y'all.